Hello and welcome to today's video. So in this one, I'm going to be testing out and reviewing Siraya Tech Fast resin just to see how durable it is, what the quality is like, especially when you are working with tabletop miniatures. So let's break some stuff and get on with the video. Oh my days. So let's kick off with the price. This retailed for about 39 Brexit pounds, and my usual go-to is Elgo ABS light resin, and I normally get that for about 27 pounds. So that's quite a bit more than what I normally pay. However, Siraya Tech's got a really good reputation. I haven't gone for like the full-blown tenacious, which you get to mix with other resin, and I wanted to see what sort of results I got from just their use it out of the bottle mix that they've got. Now, the first thing I will say is I had 0 print failures, and obviously you want to kind of dial in your settings, everything else like that. I expected to get some to start with, but I was really surprised by the results that I got. I got fantastic results straight out of the bottle using the default settings that I grabbed from their website. Although it's anecdotal, I didn't notice any increase in smell. If anything, it smelled a little bit less than my ABS light resin by Elgo, so that's a win, I guess. And also the quality that I was seeing straight out of the bottle was really good. Now, one thing I will note, if you're the kind of person who doesn't really do anything with your miniatures afterwards, I don't like the color this comes off with. So this is their gray resin, and it's more of a transparent gray than anything else. So like the swords and the weapons and anything that kind of comes off the edges, it's got this almost like see-through look, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it means it's really hard to see any detail. So until I put a primer down on these things, it was really hard to pick up any of those details on there, which could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. But one thing to note is it made it harder to tell whether or not there were any failures when I first got them off the supports. It made it harder to tell, I guess, what bits I was maybe breaking off with the supports and stuff like that. So just, it's not the end of the world at all. But this light grey that it comes off with these sort of like translucent areas, it made it a little bit harder to work with than what I was used to with the darker grey that I get from the Elgo ABS light resin. And once I primed them all up, I hit them with a Zenithal prime, and I got some really good results. And I've got to say, the quality of these was definitely on par with what I've seen before on my previous resins. There was nothing there that was lost in the detail. There's no soft spots or anything like that. And considering these were literally just the settings that I was getting off the printer, default from their website, they came out looking fantastic. So in terms of quality, on miniature scale, looks great, no complaints there. I then went ahead and I painted up this set by Mammoth Factory Games, and again, you can see all the quality there, all the detail. It's not really lost, there's nothing soft, it captures the paint really well. It's really pleased with the quality. So quality, 2 thumbs way up, but what you're here for is to see how well this lives up to the claims of durability. Now, one thing we tabletop gamers know when it comes to 3D printed miniatures that are done in resin is they're not the most durable thing in the world. You can get some resins that will do a pretty good job of providing a bit more durability. Like I said, my go-to is Elgo ABS light resin. I really like this stuff, it gives me some nice durable prints, but Siraya Tech claim that this is going to be nice, easy to use, and give me some durability. Based on feedback from previous videos, all my resin videos now in the future are going to be going through some drop tests rather than just bending the weapons. So like you all pointed out in previous videos, who just sits there bending weapons? Nobody does that apart from me, apparently. So I will be using the shelf in the background, and it gives me some relatively, I guess, household height. We've got like the basic little tabletop size. You've then got like the normal table size as well, and then you've got the top shelf height. And the aim is I've printed off 3 identical prints, and we're going to give them 3 lives and go from each of the different heights and see which one it can make it up to. If they survive that, then we're going to drop a D&D book on top of one, or any of the surviving ones, and see how well they survive that. So let's get cracking. I have no idea what to expect, no idea if my camera is even going to capture it, but should be fun nonetheless. Okay, so the heights for this, we have 20 inches high, followed by 34 inches high, followed by 62 inches high. So we're going to start off with the low, I guess, tabletop height. Well, not tabletop, like coffee tabletop height, which is 20 inches. See how that goes. Okay, so first one, we've got your like coffee table height, which is 20 inches high. So I guess this is more if you've got them on display rather than gaming with them, or if you're playing on a low, I guess like a skirmish game or something like that. So first one. We've got a breakage already. Okay, so the full arm came off, so it's not just the sword. And I was expecting the swords to break off on these, but we've got 1 survive, 2 survive. Okay, so interestingly there, on the 20 inches high, we've got 2 that passed that test, 1 that failed it. So we're down to 2 lives. Moving on to, I suppose, almost like just taller than your standard gaming table height. Let's have a look. So first one. Survived, came off the base. Next one. Survived and came off the base. So we've got two that passed that one. And now the final one, I can stand up for this one. It's going to be your top shelf things. So okay, so with the drop test, we have 2 dead and 1 survived. So out of the 3 lives, we have 1 life left. The reason I chose these is they come off in one piece, so I don't have to worry about the glue getting missed off or anything like that. I've also got some fine details on this, like these swords, for example, and all the horns that come off the edges. I expected those to break off, but actually, one of them had the sword break off and his other arm. One of them had the whole arm break off, but everything else stayed on there, and obviously this one survived. So they've done a pretty good job. They survive a decent amount of droppage, which is always a good thing. But I did say if anything survived, we would drop like a games manual on it and just see. I don't know. I don't expect this one to survive, and I don't really have a height to go with. But let's just see if you were to, in fact, let's just knock it over, because you know what? You've got your clumsy friends, you're gaming around a table, someone reaches for the monster manual in this case, and accidentally knocks it over. Does it survive or not? Oh my days, that didn't even expected it to fly out and it. Something flew off it. What flew off? Oh, his tail. Yeah, they've got these little tails on the back as well. Okay, that survived better than I expected it to. So his tail flew off the end, but everything else stayed on there. So I've got to say, I'm pretty impressed with it. I don't have anything to benchmark it with these tests yet. I will be doing, like I said, all of my resin videos in future like this, and I'll backdate some of them as well to give you similar results. Then we can have like a resin comparison, see which one works out best for tabletop gaming. But in summary, I'm really impressed with this. I like the quality of it. I didn't get any failed prints. I think out of all the resins I've used so far, out of the bottle without tweaking any settings or anything like that, it was the easiest to work with. That might just be because my printer's pretty dialed in already, so I didn't expect to have any issues with it. But yeah, I was really impressed with it. The quality I got from it, fantastic. And I've got to say, surviving all of the drop tests, even that top shelf, yep, thumbs up there. We at least got one through it. And then having the monster manual dropped on one of them, survived that. Well, kind of survived it, just lost a tail instead. So all in all, I'm really impressed with this resin. Do I recommend picking it up? Well, that depends on your budget at the end of the day. As I said, I love the Elegoo ABS light resin. For £27 versus the £39 that I picked this up at, it's a harder sell for me just because of how many inches that I have to print. However, if I wasn't printing as much as I do just for this channel, then it might be worthwhile having a look at. Good detail, good durability. I haven't actually done the bend test, so okay, it does snap unfortunately, but I expected that. This sword is very, very thin. However, it can certainly take a knock, it can take a drop, and it can take a good old crushing. So, pretty impressed with it. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It's my first resin one where I've been trying to like dropping and crushing stuff. If you've got anything else that you want me to test in the future, by all means, let me know. Going forward, I will try to backdate all of my resin videos that I've done previously, like the ABS light resin, like the water washable resin, just to give you more of a point of comparison and stuff like that. So, see you in the next video and take care. Bye. Oh, his leg came off.